It was all a dream. I used to watch JBC. I know me they a Streetkeeks TV. I just a black ghetto youth like me. You can be anything that you wanna be, yeah. Here man, I'm a Tom all the day out of the slum king. I may represent for Streetkeeks TV Entertainment. Out of the slum, Streetkeeks gonna road you know how.
From here, the voice you don't know, say a Jason representing for Streetkeeks TV Entertainment. You don't know, you know. We have real friends, but we have some fake ones too.
Yo, you done those tiny booster. You feel me? Straight out of Peck now, SN1. Alright, now you're locked to a Streetkeeks TV. You already know the hottest. You already know what's really good. Get me.
We are in the place now, give me a
Energy Empire. What's really good? You already know you're locked in with your girl, Miss Keeks, and you're watching Streetkeeks TV live. So you already know it's hip hop and urban culture documentary series is active, and right now today I got a special one for you, and I enjoy doing this one still. The end of year rap albums. Before I even get into this, I can't lie. UK, some rap albums was missing. That it was almost a struggle to get 20. But you know what? We got there in the end.
take it down, ride you like a cat.
Okay, Energy Empire. So we're going to talk about the rap albums, the UK rap albums from the beginning of the year to the ending of the year. So I thought I would do my reviews at the ending because it would make more sense, because I have a better chance to listen to all the albums, take it in and make a decision. Because you know, when you do certain things in a rush moment, you don't really get the feel of it. And I like to do comparisons just to make sure my stuff is on point. So before I even get into this, let me just break this down, because I just want to point this out. Some albums, I ranked them over other albums when it came to the marking, simply because some albums had more features on it. And also there was another thing. Oh yes, also some albums was done jointly instead of solo. So the first album we're going to talk about, I just want to say bravo. The one and only Real Back in Style, Potterpayper. I have to start here because I'm going to tell you guys the honest truth. Out of all the rap albums that have dropped this year, for me personally, Potterpayper deserves the number one ranking spot. And the reason why I say that Potterpayper deserves the number one ranking spot is because the pain, the passion, the artistic expression, the wordplay, the creative visionary that we got to see, just the minimal visuals behind the process to the album formulation that he created was definitely impressive. Not to mention his actual videos that he dropped prior. Also, I just want to let you guys know, as I'm doing this album review, you will be able to see all the artists in an article, end of year review, on my YouTube community tab, so you can go and check that out. But as I was saying, Potterpayper, can I just say, big up yourself, man. Real Back in Style is a big album. Like, everything that you put down on there was 100% on point. The way the album was filled with a body of work that was just, it was remarkable. Yes, my Energy Empire. So as I was saying, remarkable. Like, the body of work that was on Potterpayper's album is unlike no other album that he's dropped. Like, this one, everything that he needed to say and bring to street rap urban culture, he did that. I'm gonna drop one of my favorites off the album snippet, and you can go and check it out, and it's called A Million. Listen, you see, also with this album there was some subjects that Potter covered that I can't lie to you, Energy Empire, it was touching. Kayla's story, big. Listen, all my life, how can I? What they multifaceted, corner boy. Listen, Potterpayper, you did your thing on the album. I can't lie to you. Like, some songs I didn't call their names because you already know what time it was. Yeah, blame Brexit. You came in strong. I won't even say that I had a criticism, to be fair, on this album, because from the start to the end, I'm telling you, Energy Empire, every single track was just heat after heat after heat. And the thing is, it's not the type of heat that you expect when I say heat. Probably you're thinking about them type of subjects where you're going crazy and it's that real deep side of drilly urban culture. No, this is hip hop, conscious lyricism, pain, artwork, storytelling, creativity, like expression, like the creative vision and artistic process on this album. I won't say anything else. I was impressed. I was more impressed than I even expected to be, because one thing about Potterpayper, I know that he delivers all the time. But this album, there's something about this album that I could say to you, like, whew, real back in style. When he called it real back in style, he meant what he meant. Real came back in style. Real came back in style, like the realness never left. And that's the type of music that I want to hear. That's the type of bars that I want to hear. When I hear bars, I want to hear bars that's making me feel like, yeah, there's lyricism, education, life lessons, purpose, acceleration to be able to get it in, vision. Potterpayper, big up yourself on this album. This one was incredible.
If I had £1,000,000, I'd have to watch everyone around me. I see bear snakes in my own face.
So in second and third place, this one was stiff. Stiff. When I say this one was stiff, I mean it was definitely stiff, simply because the two artists that I'm going to call right now, both of them have come with albums that's like, these are classic albums. They're not just the typical albums of street rap culture of music. This is evolved versatility, growth. I don't even know how to begin with this one. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you my second, my third place. And I'm going to ask you guys to drop in the comments section, between these two artists and their albums, if you listen to it, who do you think did what they needed to do? But I ain't saying that. Stormzy and Gigs, it was problematic. It was problematic. I had a hard run with these albums because they were both great. Starting with Stormzy, because I put him in second place. The reason why I put Stormzy in second place was because the album was just breathtaking. Like, the album, listen, considering Stormzy has been gone on a hiatus for such a long time, doing what he needs to do to get himself in a right state of mind to come back and deliver. He delivered. And remember, before this album, this is what I mean. Stormzy's last album was beyond expectation. It was the type of album to see where he is now. Because his last album, it showed the growth in him and what he could actually do as a rapper, transition into classical hits that's like treasures in the catalogue. So you see this album? Fire and Water, Stormzy. It's a different energy. It's giving grace. It's giving purpose. Like, Jesus. The singing, I loved everything about that. Like, the collaboration Stormzy does overall on this album is just like, Jesus. When you go on into the album and then you get into This Is What I Mean Now, that was one of my favorite joints. You know why that was one of my favorite joints? Because it was the originality of Stormzy. And it was taking you back to, yeah, don't get it twisted. Man might have been gone, but man's got the bars. And we know Stormzy's got the bars. Let's not forget that Stormzy has got the bars. If you've forgotten, let me wake you up right now. Let me just give you some time to wake up. If you need to get water or whatever you need to do, go grab that. This review is going to go down. Stormzy had it in the bag. So in saying that, when I saw that collaboration now, I was like, yeah, he's fresh back. He just dropped a tune. Then he come back again and then he come back again and he was going off. So it was like, all right, boom. Before Hide and Seek now, when he dropped This Is What I Mean, all the artists on it, they did their thing. Like, I enjoyed the melodies, the lyricism, just the way the whole lineup was of each artist delivering on the track. I was actually happy to see Miss Banks on there. Banks did a thing. You already know what time it is when it comes to Miss Banks rapping. That's another thing. But don't forget her documentary's up there, so you can go and check that out if you want to know more about Miss Banks. But yeah, This Is What I Mean. It did its thing. It actually did its thing. Black Sheriff, come on, you know already. I don't even need to call the rest of the artists' names because they know that they delivered. Like, I was definitely impressed with that. Need You, that's grown folk stuff. That's grown folk stuff. That is a masterpiece. One thing I noticed about the album, though, what I will say is that when Stormzy came back into music after his return, he had done some other songs, which I was quite shocked to see that they wasn't actually on the album because Mel made me do it. Come on, that wasn't even on the album, and that is fire. Longevity Flow not on the album. That's fire. And there was another track that he did when he came back. That's not on Angel and the Marble, not on this, but the album. Listen, people, there was a lot about Stormzy. Let me just check my notes. Yeah, because I have to just make sure I don't forget my stuff when I'm doing this critique here.
God in all my flows, heaven in my tracks. My kettle's all gold, my presidents are black. See Jackie on the front line.
That was it, Energy Empire. This is my favorite one of the album. All of them are bangers, but for me, the type of lyrics and style of hip hop and urban culture music that I like, this track here demonstrated. This one is big. Like, Stormzy's album deserves some big awards right now because it's unlike no other. And one thing I'm gonna say, Stormzy definitely deserves his credit because he may feel like he doesn't get it all the time, and that's understandable. Every rapper feels like that. But honestly, the evolution of what Stormzy is doing when it comes to transitioning underground hip hop, grime, dirty drill, trap music to chart bangers, like in a different realm. And it's not to say that other artists haven't done this, because other artists have, because Chipmunk is someone who's known for setting the tone from way before when this type of music was crossing over. Dizzy Rascal, we could go back, yeah. But in this particular time frame of the new age music where drill and trap music is going on hard and grime is shifting with certain artists' originality to now, and what we're seeing with music in the culture of hip hop today, Stormzy's album has definitely gone clear. Literally, it's gone past a scale that I can even think. Like, when I listened to this album, I had to sit there and I was even triggered because I was thinking, wow, you can't even put the album really into a bracket. That's how mad the album is. The one he did with Aerostar, that one is just definitely roots, culture, classic, authentic. Like, Stormzy, definitely get your deuces from me. Like, this album was a definite great project and formulation. And I'm glad that the time that you took away to come back and to deliver this, hey, you can disappear again. Take the time you need. We shall wait for you to return because we know we won't be disappointed. Then one running after Stormzy. Third place. the timeless Zero Tolerance album, I had to put Gigs third place. The only reason why I put Gigs third place secretly, though Giggs's album is timeless, is simply because Giggs had a lot of features on his album. That would be my only critique for Giggs's album. But in saying that, with the features that Giggs had on the album, all the features that Giggs had on this album was definitely a collaboration needed, because Davies, Jadakiss, 21, those three in the collaboration of hip hop definitely was big. Starlets with Dave East, that track is a different caliber. It's not your normal kind of rap track. It's a different caliber. When you're talking, if you know about Dave East, then you know how Dave East gets down. So to see Giggs and Dave East on a tune, the combination was fire. Giggs held it down. And the reason why I'm going to say this right here, devil's advocate, is because, Giggs is getting his just dues right now. And I'm happy to see it. But I know with American culture, sometimes they look at UK rap and say, oh, why do we rap like that? Because we have a certain type of sound. Giggs and Dave East coming together and collaborating, that track definitely was inspiring. It was impactful. The lyrics, the energy, the street video, it was just giving Giggs old school but new generation, big man style but still blocking. I respected it. I respected the video. I respected the feature. I respected the whole collaboration overall. Then, when we're talking about the tune that he did with Jadakiss, come on! You already know. When you're talking Jadakiss, what time it's gonna be. And this is not the first time that Giggs has done something with Jadakiss. So wait, if I'm correct, because yes, he has done something with Jadakiss before. Sorry, because I know he's done quite a few projects with American artists from back in his earlier days of career. So no doubt about it, Jadakiss and Giggs together, it was going to be a combination. Power. Like, there was nothing about it. And one thing with Giggs, Giggs got their punchlines. Giggs got the punchlines that make you just sit there and go, your dad know. SN1 Giggs and the Black Gang, yeah. Hollow Man's back. Back in business. Hollow Man came in. The landlord represent. Come on. Even the tune with Diddy. Giggs, from I saw that, I was in. I was like, yeah, let's get to it. I was like, come on, SM1. I was like, yeah. Even when I thought about it, I was like, the landlord had Giggs. I'm sorry. I was like, the landlord had Diddy on timing with the UK momentum. You get me? And I had to respect that because, come on, only Giggs can do it. So, and not to speak about the controversy surrounding Diddy at the moment, because this is the UK album reviews. We'll get to that. If you want to know about that, just go onto the Instagram and you'll see some information down there and follow the community as usual. But back to the album at hand. Zero Tolerance, no album. The Man Dem tune set the tone. There was no delays about it. Even to see Giggs perform with 50 for his final lap tour, that was big. I wish I actually got to see that live, but next time I will definitely go and check out Giggs live in action at a performance when he's doing his thing. I was proud of that moment because you know what? Giggs is the foundation of street rap music, and to be where he is right now and see the credits and the just dues that he's getting, I'm very proud of him. So this album collaboration altogether was definitely big one. Even the little yard style, because Giggs always loves that Jamaican stuff, So him coming in with a tune with Popcorn now, that tune it did go out with its thing. Giggs definitely came with the flow. I was actually surprised because not wondering even to think of it now as I commentate why I would have been surprised, because remember we have gigs is you know the tune already. I don't want to say that because copyrights and things, and you know how YouTube is very sensitive and stuff. So you know gigs is known to the dancehall style. So to hear him with Poppy, it gave a different twist to the flavor, and Popcorn shell it, held it down. That deserved the video. I'm glad that we actually got the video. So gigs, overall, the layout, the levels of collaborations that he had, the features, the trap rap style, just bringing it back into new days, but still giving us a piece of the old days. Yeah, I had to say gigs, definitely. I'm actually, when I think about this album, I'm actually happy that it had all the features on it, because gigs, we know he can do albums by himself. So to see this, I understood the angle that gigs was coming with when he put this album together for the culture. This wasn't an album just for himself. This was an album for the culture to say, yeah, the lyricism and who he is as an artist, the rappers that he can make something big come out of with him on a track. Definitely, I saw to reason for this classic here. So definitely, Giggs' album here, this one is a timeless one. This one, I have to give it to the Hollow Man straight up. But going on into fourth and fifth. Now, these two,
You think this shit I've been through in my lifetime, I could just pick up and just run away.
is because before I get to fourth and fifth, yeah, this off Giggs' album, yeah, I'm going to save this for last, is the reason why the album is a timeless piece. Because it has a lot of these type of songs on the album, and the run is different. But fourth and fifth, DiggaD and Tiny Boost. Mad. And Tiny Boost on Giggs' album was hard as well. I was happy to see that SN1 link up too, because them two, you already know how the camp goes. But honestly, the rap album so far, 1, 2, 3, Jesus. Potterpayper, Stormzy, Giggs. Now we're going on to DiggaD and Tiny Boost, but I'm going to let you know who I put before who I put and who I put, because you know the order of the formulation. Because we're just going to do the top 5 for this one, and then I'll keep it going.
Tell me what you want from me, I feel like Mason Total. Gigs my brother in private, ain't gotta make it social. Most these niggas only want pictures so they can post you.
Smoking in my garden, Davies. They know we up in Harlem. And if I put a work in, I pray. Broken a commandment.
God gave me life, so I can't tell him I'm suicidal. It's been rewritten, but I still find the time to read the Bible. I'm a rapper, that's my title. Someone's idol, so I'm mindful when I talk.
Yes, my energy empire. So fourth and fifth place, as I was saying, we was talking about DiggaD and the joint album with Tiny Boost and Young's Teflon, which is Purple Hearts, and Back to Square One. So for me, I had to put DiggaD in fourth place. And the reason why DiggaD went into fourth place is because he did his album by himself and it wasn't a joint project. So in starting there, DiggaD, my goodness, for such a young artist, the growth with DiggaD is just different. His level of rap skills and creative ability is 100% on point. For a young youth, he is going to do great things later from now when the future comes, because where he's going now and the road that he's traveling on, DiggaD is someone definitely for the culture to watch out for. You see, one thing I do like about DiggaD before I get into the album is that he's very versatile with his sound, because starting in with the drill and then having his hip hop element, he's fire. But you see, for me, I really like when DiggaD raps hip hop. You see when DiggaD comes with the hip hop, the original street rap, not drill music, hip hop. DiggaD is untouchable. Like mic to mic against certain rappers as a young youth, his pen, his domination for bars, he won't be able to be touched. And I'm keeping it 100 because I'm someone who I really love hip hop and R&B. Rap and R&B is something that is that's why the foundation is hip hop and urban culture. Put aside that, when I listen to DiggaD's album, track after track, the album was just going off, and it's called Back to Square One, people. The album was just going off, going off, going off, going off, going off. That I had to sit there and say to myself, like, hold on, let me flip back. You see, when I start flipping back to tracks and finding it a struggle to move forward, then you know that you got me plugged in. And DiggaD had me that way. DiggaD's album had me that way because I know he's fire. And I know he goes in. That's why I've been following him. That's why I've been supporting him. But when I listened to the album, like, I was drawn back a second. I had to check myself and say, hold on a minute. Like, to you's going in fire. Like, DiggaD, I'm proud of you. And you see Fighting for My Soul, that is my favorite track off your album. Like, I am happy you started a run with that because you see that one? Jesus. M Huncho and you on the track, Baby Mom's Crib, come on. You know you go in. You know you go in on the track. That track, I like the way you and M Huncho flow. You're just going off. Potterpayper, facade. Come on, you know when Potterpayper jumps on a freestyle, you already know it's danger. You don't even have to ask any questions about what the track is gonna be presented with. Like, it's mad. Buying on them, kindness for weakness, burn bridges. Listen, there was a lot of power on DiggaD's album. Yeah, I can't lie to you. Listening to it, it was big. And that is the reason why I gave DiggaD high marks, for the simple fact that out of all the rap albums that I listened to, for a young youth, he's holding his ground. Like, I can't lie. Like, to knock him out, it's going to be a tough one. So DiggaD, big up yourself on that. Back to Square One was definitely. Tiny Boost and Young Teflon, Purple Hearts. You see now, it was hard, yeah, listening to the album. Just for the simple fact that when I listened to the album, I didn't actually listen to the album in the order that I'm giving it to you now. I listened to the albums in a sporadic style. Then when I started to listen and do my review, I said to myself, okay, when I listen to the certain sounds of certain rappers having, I see them in a rank with specific artists. So then I paused the albums and then I went back to other artists who I'd prior listened to and put them together and then started to go in and listen again. Tiny Boost, a Young Teflon, Purple Hearts scores high points for me when it comes to the UK rap album list for the street culture. That is one of the biggest albums right now that has dropped representing street rap, authentic hip hop. Like, both artists individually is cold. So for the two of them to join up to do a project, it made sense. It made sense. And I saw the value in it. Listen, Tiny Boost and Young Teflon did what they had to do. Sharks 2 was one of my favorites off the album. I'm going to go into my notes right now and have a look again before I keep going on, because this one was definitely one where I ain't even gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed that I took so long to get to listening to the album because I had a lot to do and I was in the middle of dealing with other things for the brand. I had to pause the album reviews for a moment. So you see, when I got to the album, I was listening to some other albums before that. When I listened to the album, up till right now, it's one of those albums where it's a click back, click back, click back, click back. You see, as I said it, any album that makes me click back consistently, then I know that it's an album of impact, because we have a lot of albums that come out, you listen to the albums, you hear a couple songs, they're bangers, and then if you don't like follow the artist like that, you might not save it or you might not follow it up. But then there's albums that drop with tracks on it, there's that songs, hit different, that when you hear it, it's automatically like playlist. Now that you might play the whole track for the whole day consistently, back to back, just for the fact that it was that powerful. So Tiny Boost and Young Teflon definitely score high marks for me when it comes to street rap culture, as individuals and as artists that come together to do a duo project. Definitely their thing was big. And also I just wanted to point this out, because when I was mentioning collaborations before in some of the artists' review earlier, when I was talking about gigs, there was a point when I mentioned the collaborations, I was talking about the production in regards to the beats wise, because referring back to Tiny Boost and Young Teflon, production wise, they had it. Production wise, the beats made sense. When they came with the flow, like, my goodness, like, I can't even lie to you. I'm going to have to pause right now quickly just to go check my notes, just to make sure, because there was a few tracks that I definitely wanted to highlight from Purple Heart's album. So Energy Empire, I'm going to wrap this up. So my top 5 out of the 20 end of year rap review list incoming. First 5 is Potterpayper 1, Stormzy 2nd, KEEKS 3rd, DiggaD 4th, Tiny Boost and Young Teflon 5th. Sorry, Energy Empire. So thank you for being here with me and listening to my take of the UK rap album so far on all the reviews. Obviously, I said to you, top 20 is what I'm doing. So far, I've given you the top 5. I hope you like my top 5 out of what you've listened to. Tell me who would have been in your top 5 so far out of the UK rap album that's dropped. And if you want to know more about your chosen artist, just let me know in the comment section also.
She stayed down to the end, we gon' rock and roll.
You gon' need 21 guns to salute me.